and on Google Hangout. So good morning and good afternoon, according to the area where you are. This is Prosperity on Air, the first episode. I apologize for those of you who are following me on Facebook and you see this trembling image on my phone. As you may see on my page, I've tried a different setup using a selfie stick, but I don't know what happened. Something didn't work, and so the video is upside down. So I'm using this other manual, so to say, technique. So this is the first episode of the first edition of Prosperity on Air. It used to be called Simple Steps to Prosperity. Then it became Prosperity on Air, and now there are two versions. One is Prosperity on Air for my international audience, and then Prosperity Live for my Italian audience. This is a space that I would like to devote to you. Your questions, your doubts about creating, running, managing your online business, and about creating freedom and prosperity in your life. I will answer your questions that you can either ask me online, live, during the broadcast, or questions that you can send me during the week at info@projectprosperity.com. And I also would like to not only to receive your questions, but also ideas and, sharing experiences. This is a place for us all to grow together. So I don't want it to be a one-man show, so to say, a woman in my case. And not only this, as I used to do for Simple Steps to Prosperity and for Prosperity on Air, previous edition, I will interview other people, experts in specific industries or business areas, as well as entrepreneurs, professionals who have created something unique or who have, interesting professional as well as personal experiences. And today I will start with your questions. And the first question is from a client of mine. We just started a one-to-one coaching session, and the first question that she asked, where should I start from? And I tried to answer thinking of my own experience. Something happened, so I'm not going live on Facebook anymore. This is the beauty of doing things live. Technology is a fantastic thing, but sometimes it betrays you, like in this case. And so my phone, I don't know what happened, was turned off. And I thought there was enough battery to complete this episode of Prosperity on Air. Okay, so when I started, I was trying to answer this question, thinking about my own experience. When I started out, that was back in 2009, I started with a blog, and I didn't think I would create a business out of it. It was just something, that I wanted to try. And then I got passionate about it, and I learned new things, I discovered new things. And so little by little, this initial blogging project became a business. And I learned things the hard way, with trial and error and mistakes and failures, no failures in my case, meaning that, the things that went wrong were good lessons that I learned. But there was one thing I didn't do, and that many many small business owners, especially solopreneurs, tend to do is, or tend not to do, is a business plan or a business map, as I prefer to call it. Plan, in my case, is something that you create and then it stays there and you have to follow. And I see a map as something evolving, and I like to see a business plan as a map. So why so many people don't do it? First of all, because many, especially solopreneurs, believe that their passion and optimism are enough to set up a successful company, or they are too busy to create a formal business plan. And if you operate without a plan, your venture tends to be very time consuming and very often overwhelming. That was my case too. I was really overwhelmed, and until I started to try to create a structure in my business and to set goals and strategies and steps that I had to make, and evaluating the pros and cons of every situation, find the right resources and allocate the right resources to the various parts of my business. Okay, so a plan is necessary. Then another very important thing is to have a vision. And I like the example of Howard Schultz, Starbucks CEO. His vision is very clear. I mean, if you ask the average person what kind of business is Starbucks is, probably the answer is, it's a coffee business, a coffee shop. But in the mind of its creator, there was this idea when he went to Italy and he saw people meeting in coffee shops, in cafes before and after work. And so in his mind, there was this idea of a place, a meeting place between one's work and home. And that was, the idea that then was turned into Starbucks. And what he wanted to give his clients wasn't just a coffee shop, but he wanted to give his clients an experience. So it is also for you, for your business, it is important to ask yourself, so what kind of business what is the vision I have, what kind of experience I want to offer my clients or my customers. And this is your why, the why that motivates you to pursue your vision, no matter the difficulties that you will inevitably encounter, the down moments and the challenges that are part of our life. So, and the other important thing is to have a very clear picture of your target market, of your ideal clients. And it is very important to define your clients in details. So where do your clients live? What is their gender, age, ethnicity, knowledge, language, home ownership, their employment status, location, as well as, their psychological characteristics. So, for example, what they like, what they don't like, what they read, what they buy, what they eat, what kind of lifestyle they have, what are their beliefs, their values, the film they watch. It is very, very important to define your clients very clearly, because your communication should always have your ideal clients in mind. And remember, what you do isn't about yourself. It's about what you offer your client to help them live a better life, make a difference in the world, become, more prosperous, happier, thinner, and more relaxed, or live a more comfortable life, and they really want. So if you know your clients really, really well, if you can define everything about them, in this case, you will be able to serve them. And this is what, your business is about, to serve your clients, to help them achieve their goals. And then, of course, you have to have very clear business goals. So without these goals, your business will go nowhere. It will be like a ship with no destination. So try to think about the 3 to 5 main goals, and think about the goals that you want to achieve in the longer term. So let's say in about 5 years, and then in 3 years, 1 year, 6 months, and then break these goals into tangible monthly and weekly and daily goals. So if you have a big goal, it may seem unattainable, but if you break this goal into smaller goals, into smaller steps, it will be much easier to achieve this goal. So this is about the questions that I have received today. So this is what I would do if I had to start my business today. I would start with my vision, with my intention, with my client in mind, and I would set very clear goals. And remember, a business plan or a business map, how I call it, it's not a static document that you create once and you have to stick to it no matter what. It's a document that is always in progress, because in my opinion, setting up a business, managing a business, creating your own business is the best personal development journey that you can go through. And you learn so much about you. You learn so much about your values, your ideas, and you learn so much about your clients. And so you necessarily have to incorporate the new things that you discover and the new lessons that you learn. This week is a very special week. So we will not only have this episode of Prosperity on Air, there will be a special episode on Thursday the 17th at 3 o'clock, so same time. And I'm going to interview a dear friend, a person that I really appreciate so much, Joanne White. Joanne is launching a very special book. Tomorrow is the day the book is going to be released. And this book is called More Heaven, because every child is special. It's about autism. And it's, a very important project for Joanne. It's a true inspirational story about never giving up, about bringing out the best in our children and in all of us. So it's a book for everyone who cares about making sure that our children feel valued, loved, appreciated. And it also guides the way to help our young people and us overcome the inevitable challenges that we have in life. So I'm joining Joanne for the launch. I'm not earning anything from this launch, but I really encourage you if you have the opportunity to, read this book. It's a really wonderful story, and it's full of very important life lessons. So on Thursday, I will be the honor to interview Joanne. She was too busy, as you can imagine, today. Tomorrow is the day she will launch the book. So it's the eve of the launch, and she's very busy. And on Thursday, as I said, I'm going to interview her. So if you have the opportunity to read the book or to read about Joanne, you can send me questions for her. So just write to info@projectprosperity.com, and in the subject line, just write More Heaven, and I will be very pleased to ask your questions to Joanne. So it's all for today. I apologize with my followers on Facebook for the technical inconvenience, and I wish you a wonderful week, and I will see you on Thursday with Joanne White. So again, have a wonderful day, and thank you for being with me on Prosperity on Air.